What's up, everybody? Haven't had anybody tune in yet. I just decided to do a live stream. I was out here hanging out on the patio and realized that it's a pretty nice morning, and just been kind of hanging out with Sierra, and it was raining a bunch earlier, and then now it's the rain's starting to move out. But if we look up here, I'll show you. Look up, you'll see all the clouds that we've had. So it's been raining a bunch all morning, and I've actually got the hot tub going over here, and so I've been working with that. Hey, Fort Sack Jack, how you doing, brother? So the hot tub's running right now, and actually I want to go check and see what the temperature is on it real quick. So let's do that real fast. Had the fire going for about an hour, and I had it going last night. It's probably about 100 right now. I had the fire going last night and got it up, doing good. Got up to about 108, so it's nice. So Emmy Green, what's going on? Emster, how you doing? Vivian, hey, what's going on? Things are going good here. Just been kind of having a mellow week. Haven't really been doing a whole lot. And let's see, Hector, you're saying Heather looking wild, or weather looking wild up there. Yeah, it's been raining a bunch all morning, and here's how the clouds are looking right now above me, and also off in the distance. It's like the rain was only supposed to last until 8 a.m. and it's been going all back and forth. Hang on, somebody said they were new to the channel here. Hector, no, Nathaniel, new to the channel. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Nathaniel. See, Rodeo, you're asking how often do I use the tub? I use it pretty much every day. So, yeah, that hiking guy, I guess the rain's supposed to settle in kind of all day. I was gonna go, hey, what's up, Linda? We'll go into CCR here in a sec. I was gonna go film today. I had a bunch of new Native American hilltop ruin sites that I found online with satellite. So I had a total of 5 that I was gonna go hit. But with the rain, camper dude, no, I didn't get to fish this week. We got to the canyon entrance and the bridge was out, so we had to turn around. But I was gonna go film those ruins this morning, and with the rain last night, it rained here for probably a couple hours, and so the roads were kind of iffy. And we were on the edge of the rain, and where I was gonna go film these ruins at, it's way out. Hey, Wandering Brood, how's it going? I hope everything's good up in Flag, brother. I was out, I'd be going into the area that got really hammered last night, and the roads would just be, kind of shot. And so the areas where I was gonna go were really long 4x4s, and it was gonna take a while to get there. And so I just decided to not go because with the rain, and it's just continuing on today. So I might go tomorrow if the roads firm up, but definitely want to check out some new sites. I've got some new spots that look pretty fantastic. Also too, just a heads up, if the stream cuts out, it's because this phone that I have, I dropped it earlier this week and it's all beat up, and I went to go get it fixed and they didn't fix it. So it kind of, like, right now it's been holding for like, hey, what's up, Donnie and Freya? Hey, hit me up, let me know when you're coming this way. But the phone, it's an iPhone 11 Pro Max or Pro or whatever, and the camera on it obviously still works, but the problem is it just turns off randomly, and I can't, there's no rhyme or reason to it. This morning it seemed to work. I kind of threw it on the ground because I was really pissed at it, and then all of a sudden it started working. So maybe that's the recipe for it, but all week it's giving me problems, and I can't text, and it's just kind of a pain. So I'm trying to do everything through my laptop, and so far so good, but I know I'm missing out on people that aren't on iOS. If people are on Android, then I don't get those text messages on my computer. And so I'll probably try to get a new phone maybe this week. I did have Mint Mobile hit me up, so maybe I'll work with them to see about getting a phone. I'd rather support the small companies anyway. AT&T is real big. But here, everything's going good. For those that are just now tuning in, I've had my hot tub going for a little bit. Hey, what's up, Laura? Got my hot tub going for a little bit this morning, and it's about up to temp now, and I'm gonna hit it here in a little bit because it was only supposed to rain. So hey, what's up? And Smiler from New Zealand, that's awesome, man. I have a friend of mine from Christchurch, and she spent 2 years sailing around the globe on a sailboat back in the 70s, which I was like, man, that's awesome. Back before they had any sort of communications. It's pretty wild. But things are going good out here. Like I said, the hot tub's about up to temp, and I think what we're going to do for the day, since we're not going to go check out those ruins, we're just going to kind of kick it here. Sierra's taking a nap. I don't even think it's reached 65 yet today, and so we're just going to kind of hang around the property. But I wanted to kind of walk you around real quick and show you. Oh, hey, so you're coordinating with Nat, and we'll be coming from. Oh, okay, cool. That'd be awesome. It'd be great to see both. Things here are going good. It's starting to get cooler at night. Like I'm thinking about next week by the 1st, the temperatures at night are going to be like down to like low 40s, around 40. And so I'm going to start putting in my stove here soon. So let's see, Nathaniel said I've got 5 acres of land in Concho. And I own for 2 for ideas. Oh, cool, Nathan. Well, I hope the ideas are good. You know, another guy that's really great to follow is Frugal Off Grid. John works. He's over there in John. He's over there in St. John's, or above St. John's, kind of more Four Corners area over by New Mexico border. And man, that guy he builds so much stuff. I don't know how he does it. Because like I try to, you know, with my space here. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Let's see. Have I ever seen anything weird in the night sky? Not really. I mistakenly thought the Starlink satellites were aliens, but it wasn't. But back to the question about building. You know, Frugal Off Grid. That channel has a ton of great build stuff on there, and he does everything, you know, on the cheap. That's hence the name Frugal Off Grid. And so I'd recommend checking out his channel because he's got a lot of great information. And he puts out a video pretty much every day, and he's always doing stuff around his place. I mean, just one dude and what he's built in like 3 years has been impressive. So I'd recommend checking him out. He's got some pretty good build stuff. But then here, you know, I'm in Yavapai County, and so and I'm way out on the edge of it. I'm pretty close to Mojave County, and so out here, I mean, I don't ever see anybody, you know, which is cool. So I love the fact that there's no one really rolling around. We did have some people stop by, or not stop by, but roll through the area when the last Property Owners Association meeting was going, and coincided with the holiday weekend. So, but Danny, I'm in northern Arizona. So, but the one thing that was frustrating about that is I did find an area where somebody went to the bathroom in the lower part of my property. They didn't even dig a cat hole, and they just put their toilet paper everywhere. I was like, man, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and I still have to deal with that crap. That's annoying. Because that was one of the things when I was living in my truck. I just declined it real quick. But one of the things when I was living on the road, you know, is I'd volunteer all the time and go pick up trash in all different areas. And I'd always come across toilet paper and people decent on top of the ground. It's like, at least dig a cat hole, you know, especially in the areas where this ground is soft, like out here. So for those that are unaware, you know, if you go camping, dig a cat hole 6 to 8 inches deep to put your waste in. Make sure you're about 75 human paces away from water, and that way that to the water, and then you're good to go. So, all right, let's go see what's up to Sierra real quick. So, William, we're doing pretty good. You know, we're definitely hanging in there. So, I've been working out. I've been doing a bunch of weight training, and I've got like protein shakes I do twice a day. I'm taking creatine, BCAAs, all that stuff. So I am putting on mass, which is good finally. So I'm feeling better. I'm just kind of tired this week. I had a lot of issues with some of the GI stuff. But we're gonna come in here and see what's up to Sierra real quick. What's up, Pumpkin? Everybody's been asking about you, sweetie. They're wondering what you're doing. Oh, you're doing good this morning, sweetie. You're a good girl. You want to come outside? Do you want to come on out? No, you want to just stay right there? All right, we're gonna stay right there. So, let's see. We are coordinating with Nat. Okay, cool. And we'll be. Whoops, something's wrong with that message. View the message. Something's wrong with it. Sorry, Danya. The message that you just sent, I can't see it. So let's see. Whoops. No, let's not do that. Cancel. There it is. How's the tundra crap going? Let me turn this around. Oh, it's crap. I mean, I've got all the information that I need for the lawsuit, but the gal that I usually work with is unavailable because she's got too much on her plate, and she doesn't know auto law that well. She does more real estate stuff, and so actually one of the gals that was here when Bob was visiting, her dad is her dad's either a big time lemon law lawyer, or he's knows people that have it. But I'm getting in touch with her. We had been out bouncing emails back and forth too, talking about it. But it's just Tyler's a liar, you know, is what it is. He totally lied to me about why the first person backed out. He was fully aware of what had happened with the vehicle, and what happened was he bought it from a dealer that was known for doing shady stuff, because they would get salvage titles from Arkansas, bring them into Colorado, fix them up, and then somehow re-register them in Colorado, and it shows up as a clean title. So what it was is I was stupid to like trust a friend, you know, of 5 years. And so I'm just putting my ducks in a row for a lawsuit, and I'll hammer him. And he has no money. Like, what's going to happen is I'll probably have to get like a lien against his business or his home or something. Or his home or something, because he's already spent all the money for some business that he's starting up, which is going to fail because he's a loser. But come to find out, I found out a bunch more stuff about him, and he is not a good individual at all. So I'll do a full video about it when all that stuff's done. And his little threats for slander are just that. They're just threats. He has no basis whatsoever. And he's just a loser. And I didn't realize it, man. I feel duped, because had I known that, there's no way I would have ever had him on the channel. Would have never had his kids on, even though his kids are, are nice people. I think they get that from his mom, or from their mom. But it's just like some of the stuff I've heard about that guy. Just an absolute dirtbag. So everything's looking good here. Like the camper cover's working out great. We've had a ton of wind come through, especially this past week. There were gusts. There were days where it was like 55 miles an hour here, and that camper cover did not budge. I mean, it didn't budge at all. Bunker buster. Yeah, it's just, I'm glad to know it though. I'm glad to, hey, what's up, Diana? How you doing? So, but yeah, Ridge Runner, live and learn, so it's just that's just the way it is. But we'll get it figured out legally. I'm not going to stop. I'll continue doing it, and then when I'm done, I'll just put the information up here. And I checked with YouTube, as long as I'm not threatening anybody, I can put up the facts of what took place, and I've got all the screen captures. I've got all of this stuff in his writing. So he's just an idiot. So, but things are going good here. Like I said, the camper cover's working out great. If you notice, this one looks a little wonky. It's kind of angled a little bit. Reason for that is when I squared up the front of the camper here, I made sure that I made sure that was square. So when I put the metal roofing on there, like if you look at the metal roofing, like we pull it up here, you'll see it's all straight. And the reason why it's straight is because I was able to square that thing. But when I squared it, hey, thanks, Paul, appreciate that, man. But when I squared it, some of the posts, got a little bit funky, like they would, a little bit like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking the wood off the back, and Wind Screw One is your YouTube channel. So I'll have to check that out. Hey, cool trucking. What's up, Dave? But what I'm doing is I'm gonna actually pull out the rocks that are right down there, and I'm gonna redo the bases right. And when I do, I'll push that over on the base to get it more like squared up like that. So, but I'm doing good with it. I mean, it's worked out well. Nothing about it budges at all in the wind, and it's just fantastic. So, hey, Fisherman Tyrone, I've got 14 acres, and I like it. I've got a really good diversity of just material out here, like natural material. So Matthew, no, I'm not keeping the Tundra. I'm going to sell it. So, well, actually, no, I'm going to see if I can sue Tyler and have him get a judgment against him, and then we'll figure it out. So, but I mean, I'm not going to see if I'm going to sue him. I am going to sue him. I just got to get all the rest of the information on our ducks in a row. But 14 acres is good. If you're going to do that, though, make sure it's heavily wooded, especially if you're going to stay out in the wintertime, because you want to make sure that you got enough wood and all that stuff, and just natural materials to build things. Like, I'm really pleased that I was able to use these shaggy juniper tree posts, for the base foundation here, because they work out great. They perform better than redwood or chemically treated and pressure treated Douglas fir, and I think it looks pretty cool. Like you come over this way and you look at the camper, looking at the camper back, and I think it just makes it look pretty awesome. It's unique looking. It's better than building the ones that post on the ground with concrete. I think that looks boring. And so that's why I switched it around. But, if we look at it this way here, flip it around here, I made it to where this tucked up underneath and no rain comes through. I am going to replace the wood up here. If you can see, it started to bow a tad bit. You can see some gaps and stuff like that up there. And so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And then what we'll do is I'll probably just use the roll-on roofing that I bought, at the beginning of the season before monsoon started, because that'll be easy to work with back there. And you can't see the top of that from anywhere on the property because of the way that's angled. And no, I'm not doing water catchment. I've got a well that's got good water, and it's easier to get that. And then also too, the water catchment is a lot more work than people think. It's not just, hey, let's see, somebody's asking if I've got a room for a semi with a, no, you wouldn't even be able to get up here, Dave, just because it's so steep getting up. If I have a my truck like water filled up, and I'm in 4-wheel low. I can barely get over that hill, and then the other side you can't do it. So, back to the stuff here with the property. I was talking about the different sizes. If you have 14 acres, make sure it's packed full of materials, because that's not that much. A lot of people say you need to get 40 acres in order to like really have enough materials to build whatever you want. Have enough wood for firewood forever and all that stuff. So let's check out the plants here. Strawberries are kind of in a holding phase at the moment. Reason for that is there's always a pause during the year, and this is the pause, but they're starting to come back as far as little shoots coming up, and so we should have some strawberries here real soon, which would be great. The sweet red pepper plant, or sweet red bell pepper plant, I guess, is starting to produce again. Let me show you here. I pulled off all the old vegetables that were coming in because they just weren't growing that well, and I redid the soil down here. So the soil has much better mineral content and a lot more nutrients, and now you can see, they're starting to come back. The growing zone, I think, is 7 up here, or it's 6 or 7. I can't remember which one it is, but there we go. So that's pretty good. And then the water catchment, I'm just not doing that because animals get into them too often. I was talking to some friends out here that have done water catchment, and what they told me is that they're like, look, number one, it's not clean water that goes in there. You're always getting dust from this area that goes in to that catchment or to your tank, and it's really hard to clean out those huge tanks because a lot of them are pretty heavy, and they get, you put them in the ground. So they said that's one thing. They said another thing too, no matter how much wiring you put around the intake for that, for whatever reason, squirrels and stuff always find their way in, and then all of a sudden you notice your water's a little funky tasting or smelling. That's because you got a dead animal in there. So you're constantly having to like clean out sludge, clean out dead animals and all that stuff for it. And I quite honestly, I don't want the hassle. I'm going to do the natural water catchment to refill the groundwater down in the meadow area, but I'm not going to do it for drinking water because I have one of the best wells out here. And that well I can go over to, and within 5 minutes I can go there, link up my hose, fill up 300 gallons of water, and it's perfectly clean water. It's tested out as some of the best water in the entire country, and I don't have to use a filter for it or nothing. And so, I understand people saying, oh, you should do water catchment and all that stuff, but if I have access to that, it's all good. And so, yeah, Diana, an infection control nightmare. That's the thing, is a lot of people said they've gotten real sick from it before, and I'm like, I've already been through that with parasites and stuff like that. I don't need that again. And so I'm not going to do water catchment for drinking water or for the garden. I've got clean water for that, and I want to use clean water for growing vegetables and, taking care of chickens and all that stuff, which I'll be getting chickens soon. I want to do that, but I'll probably do that in the spring because I would like to go down there. So let's see. Souls is saying, did it cost much for lab testing your well water? I don't know, because the tests were done by the Property Owners Association, so I don't know what the costs are associated with that. I would imagine it's probably not very much, and you can do a test yourself. You can test to see what's in the water and everything. So, hey, what's up, Marla? How you doing? Let's go inside and see what's up. Sierra wants to come out. Sierra girl, what you doing in here, pumpkin? What are you doing, sweetie? Oh, there you are. Oh, pumpkin. Good girl. So let's see, Bunker Bus, you're asking, is there any land around there for sale? Not really. There is a few parcels, but they're not the best. And I wouldn't recommend. They're overpriced for what you're getting. And so I wouldn't. Right now, there's not much in the area. I mean, my neighbor's place is for sale, but I don't know if you want to buy a place. It's just on the side of a slope, so you can't really work with the land, unfortunately. But everything else here is going good. I've been doing a lot of cleanup around. So if you see, like, all this stuff, I basically just been burning it all. And then over here, if you recall, when I cut into this place and really started to open up the land, what I decided to do was stack up, all the trees and everything. If you remember, it was stacked up like this, all the way around the drive here and all the way over here. Well, now I've got it to where when I'm doing firewood for the stove, or I'm sorry, for the hot tub, I can just come over here and grab it. because this is all season now. And so now I'm really starting to clean up the place, and it's looking a lot better. I mean, this used to be so much more debris, and now it's not too bad. So what is nice too is the areas where I have cleared a lot of the trees to make view corridors is you get a lot of these yellow flowers coming up, and then also little purple flowers and little white flowers, and they're just like high desert stuff. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How you doing, brother? So like high desert stuff like this, and you know, it's all good. I love it with I'm keeping the real big pine trees and some of the bigger old growth junipers, and and then all this down here, you know, has been seasoned wood, which I can cut up for my stove and be good to. Oh, hey, Kevin. So yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. I don't know what happened. I updated the settings, and I updated the settings in my iMessage, and for some reason I got disconnected with a lot of people. So I'll shoot you a message, and then that way we can get reconnected. I think what it was is that when I got my new computer, I set it up, and then I linked it to my phone, and I was sending messages out to people initially from the computer. And when I updated the iMessage, I think it cut off the computer connections but kept the phone ones. People that I contacted first, because like Danya was the same way, my cousin. I'm sure there's other people. I probably should put something up on Patreon about it. So, but I've been working a lot too. Let me show you this. There's another area that I've been working on, because I wanted to open up the area behind the hammock here, because I'm going to clear all this, and I've started to clear all of this. All this stuff in here is getting to be cleared out so that I can put in you know, more raised beds and all those things. So it's coming around, you know, it's looking good, and you know, I'm pretty stoked about it. Sierra's doing good. We're gonna be going into town probably tomorrow. We were gonna go in town today, but this rain has kind of hung around, and so we ended up just kind of sticking around here. But we're gonna go in town tomorrow, and I'm gonna be changing up her food. The reason being is that I want to get her more on a keto diet and eliminate all sugars to see if we can help reduce the tumors in her rear, because the tumor in her rear is still getting pretty big, and it keeps growing. But I'm thinking if we could starve it, and then also do a thing to where we do you know, like kind of more of a fasting diet, like a keto fasting diet, to see if we can starve the cancer cells. I was watching some videos yesterday about people that had, you know, pretty intense cancer, and this is in humans, but you know, it would apply to dogs as well, I think. But they had pretty intense cancer, and you know, through fasting and like nutraceuticals and CBD and different stuff, they were able to really get the tumors shrunk. And so one guy had them completely go away. So I thought, you know, she's still doing good, and she still is active and still is running around with me. And you know, every morning when we get up in the morning, she's ready to go outside and go to the bathroom and go on our walks. And so I figure we could change the diet up. And you know, right now it's been grain-free diet, and I've been giving her a little bit of lactose-free milk every day, but I cut that milk out because it still has a little bit of sugar in it. It's like 12 grams, you know, with the full serving or whatever. And so I'm gonna cut that out and make sure that she does. I mean, it sucks because she loves it, but I don't still want to encourage the cancer any more than I have to. And so let's see here. Yeah, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. I'm more disappointed that I thought I had a friend, you know, but it's just some people are just wired different. And he, you know, it's crazy. Like as soon as I messaged him, I'm like, hey man, did you know this thing was totaled? And like, why didn't you disclose that? Let's just settle this up as friends. And you know, I was like, you can just post it again, sell it. I was like, I won't say anything or whatever. And he immediately was like, sold as is. And I was like, dude, I don't want to have to go to a lawyer route. You know, he's like, good luck with that. And then blocked me on everything. Blocked me on social media. And then he has these fake accounts where he's going onto my social media and trying to talk smack. It's like, who does that? Who has like 5 different Facebook accounts and 5 different YouTube accounts? Yeah, somebody who's hiding something, that's who. So he's just a complete dirtbag. And I look forward to the video, and I'm not going to let him off. I mean, it's important, I think, you know, at least in the 4x4 community, everybody I've spoken to is like, we need to know. We need to know what type of person he is. And I thought, yeah, you know, I don't care. I mean, what a complete fool for doing that to somebody else's channel as big as mine. Like, does he think I'm not going to say anything? Like, I don't get it. Like, you know, what a moron. And the guy, his threats, you know, he's like 110 pounds soaking wet. And so, I'm not worried about him in the least bit. He's just a tool. And what it is I feel like a fool that I was actually friends with the guy. So, but anyway, that's kind of the situation with that. And it's going to be a long game. You know, it'll take a while to work through the court system and all that stuff, but I'll make it happen. And so, yeah, I do a dog dewormer. I've been doing Panic or C for a year and a half, but it's not as simple as you just give the dog Panic or C and all of a sudden your cancer is cured. You have to do a bunch of other stuff with it. You have to do a strict diet. You have to do all these different nutraceuticals. You have to couple it with a fatty oil in order for the body to even be able to uptake the Panic or C, which is also called fenbenzidol. But I've researched all that stuff. I mean, trust me. Yesterday, all day, all I did was watch cancer videos. So, you know, and like similar to dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah, I think so. See, Brian, do you believe in Jesus? Yeah, but this isn't a channel for that. So let's just keep it on the outdoor tip. Because it seems like anytime I talk about personal stuff or anything on here, it's either people come and attack me for it, or YouTube gets crazy and starts to like throttle down my channel. So I just keep it outdoor related content on there. But you know, with the stuff with Tyler, it's just, you know, he's just a dirtbag, and I'll take care of it, you know. And I'll see him around Colorado Wednesdays, and when I do, I'll tell him what I think of him in his face. You know, he's a loser. And some of the other stuff I uncovered about him, I mean, just such a low-class individual. So anyway, but everything here is good. Tomorrow I'm going to head out early in the morning. We're going to go hit up those different ruins that I want to, you know, talk about. Hey, just real quick, that's why I don't talk about on channels, because, like, you know, people, you don't want to talk about religion on here, and you don't want to talk about politics, and you don't want to talk about COVID or anything like that. That's why I keep it on the light tip. And so, you know, and also too, that's a personal thing, you know. So I understand that a lot of people are real passionate about their beliefs, but getting on a live stream and asking those questions, I think it's a little bit intrusive, you know, quite honestly. And so, you know, if you want to mess, all right. But you know, for tomorrow, what I found on satellite was I found 5 different hilltop ruins. Those that aren't aware, there's a Native American culture out here. It was called the Prescott culture, and it was from 200 AD to about 1400 AD that they were here, and so it was. They came from California, and they came from the Hokan language tribes, which were the coastal tribes out in California. And the reason why they call them the Hokan language tribes is they were actually separate small tribes, but they have it to where hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing? They have it to where they all spoke the same language, and so that's why they call them the Hokan language tribes. And it's Hokan. And then part of one of the tribes that was in, I think, Southern California, like a faction broke off and started going eastward, and they came all the way to. Let's see here. Somebody was asking a question. Hang on one second. Brian, Dad, I might be at that store. I'll reach out. Oh yeah, cool, James. Yeah, hit me up, man. So anyway, the tribes came out here, and they ended up in the East Colorado, or the Little Colorado River Basin, which is, you know, east of here. But the tribes, they focused on 3 different areas, and I live in one of the areas where they came through, and it's considered the pinnacle of hilltop architecture in North America. And some of the stuff they built, I mean, they built everything from astrology centers to you know, like infirmaries, and they're all in these hilltop areas, to like places to live, you know, different places. There's one place they built that was massive, and they think they only used it 2 or 3 times in the entire existence of it. And so initially, from 200 AD to about 1000 or about 900 AD, it was just pit homes, which are the type of homes, you know, that go in the ground, and they're lined with wood all around it, and you have an entrance that comes in and like a stair that goes through. A lot of people have seen that. So, but then from 900 AD to 1400 AD, they started building these hilltop sites, and the hilltop sites were not they were not for defensive purposes. A lot of people think that, you know, every time there's a hillside or a cliff dwelling, that it's only for defensive purposes. But out here, that wasn't the case. They weren't fighting out in this area. They had a pretty good culture, and they traded with the Hohokam, or the Hohokam, however you say it, the Sinagua, which was over in Sedona, and initially this area was dismissed as Sinagua, and they didn't realize it was an entirely different culture out here. So not a lot of people have studied it, which is pretty impressive. And a lot of the stuff is hard to access because it's on private ranches that are massive. But there's still some stuff on public land you can see. And so I found 5 more, which brings my total to 27 different hilltop sites that I've found so far with satellite imagery. And I'm going to go hit those 5 up tomorrow and film them and have that for a video for you all the first part of the week. So, but other than that, just kind of chilling around here. It hasn't even got up to like 65 yet today. It's still kind of cool. And the hot tub has been running. I'm going to check the temperature right now of it. And I got the hot tub up to about, I think that's about 108 before I hop in. But my thermometer just broke, and so I've got to do the little hand test to see how we're looking. It's probably about 104, which should be pretty good. And it's like these waves of clouds keep rolling in. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. So these clouds over here, like you see these waves of clouds, they were supposed to all be out by like 8 o'clock in the morning, and they just keep on stacking up and coming in. And so if we come over here and look this way, you know, it's looking, there's another line coming in there and then another line behind it, and it looks like it's raining over there, and then a bunch of clouds are this way. So this is where it comes in the wintertime. It comes in this direction. And I am going to have to start putting my stove in the camper soon. Yeah, bunker buster. It's real nice weather out here. Like I said, like last night was probably about 45, so it was a little chilly, but I just grabs here and we kind of sleep next to each other when it's cold like that, and it's good to go. I want to show you, I did get my stove. Where's my stove at? Oh, it's right over here. So I got my stove ready. I've got it all ready to go for the new, or for the winter season coming up. This is the stove. This is the Trekker. And you can see it's got some surface rust on it, but I think that makes it look really cool. And everything's stored on the inside here. Then what I'm going to do is have it come out the door, out this window. I'm going to take this out and put my metal insert in with the stove jack. Have it come out here, and then probably have it come out this way and attach to here, and then kick out like that, and then we'll be all set. So I'm excited to be here. They're saying it's going to be an insane winter, like absolutely insane winter. So if that's the case, I mean, I'm totally cool with that. I love the snow, and yeah, we get a lot of snow in the winter, Stan. Last winter we had a snowstorm every week, but I was in Colorado dealing with a bunch of stuff out there. But I'm looking at some stuff behind the satellite receiver here. We're good. I dropped my Starlink the other day and it stopped working. I was like, oh no, I thought I damaged the router, but it's all good. But yeah, there's some really good snowstorms that hit out here, and you'll have it to where the storms they'll hit like, you know, pretty hard for a couple days, and then you end up having like kind of locked in here a little bit, and then you after about 3 or 4 days it will start to melt, and then you're in good shape, and then you can get out. But what my strategy is I just leave in the morning before the sun comes up, when it's still frozen, the ground is still frozen on the roads, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to get out. So, but last year my neighbors were saying, like, even though I was in Colorado dealing with a bunch of stuff, then my neighbors said it snowed every single week, and it was pretty incredible. So let's see, I want to take this out here. I saw a spider web out here that I need to take care of outside on the camper. But I am going to do some winter camping too. I did bust out the Ellis canvas tent to see how that would work out for the winter time. And fortunately, there was some. Get this off. Hang on. I'm a guy. I can't do 2 things at once. I'm not capable of multitasking. The canvas tent itself actually had a hole eaten in it, which is annoying. So you know that stuff, it's like, what is it? Oh, here it is. OxyClean. Here's the thing. This has a hole in the bottom of it. I just found out this morning. It has a hole in the bottom of it, and it went down to where the tent was underneath my deal here, and ate a hole in the side of the fabric. So I won't be able to use that tent, unfortunately, going forward. which is okay because I couldn't really film in it. Like the way that the stovepipe was set up in the middle instead of on the side. I thought that'd be cooler for filming, but it actually made it a heck of a lot more challenging. And so I decided that it's probably best just to go back to the Bighorn 3, you know. And we get plenty of massive snowstorms up in Flagstaff. The biggest snowstorms that I've been in since I started winter camping, with the exception of 2 storms in Colorado, the rest of the big snowstorms have all been in Flagstaff. Flagstaff gets absolutely clobbered with snow. And there's a couple of roads that stay open in the wintertime, and I never tell people which ones they are because they're hard to find, but I found them. And yeah, Johnny and the coffee exploded. That was annoying too. But I found the roads that are grandfathered into some plowing services, and so I can get really far into the forest up in Flagstaff when the rest of the Forest Service roads are closed. So that's cool. Maybe I got somebody here from Trebizond. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. I don't even know where that is. So yeah, James, I-40 does get nuts, and it was crazy. Yeah, broken nomad, all that coffee wasted. That broke my heart. So, but everything here is going good. Sierra's still hanging in there. What you got, sweet girl? The tumor that's in her rear, it keeps growing, and so that's why we're going to change up her diet, and we're going to roll into Prescott tomorrow and get that all squared away. But everything's going good in the camper. I mean, this is basically like just a big studio apartment, you know, especially now that I removed the little closet that was over here. And so if you're looking this way, this is kind of like the kitchen area and like my utility area over there. But I switch out that to have it to where I put in my stove over there, and then I have a stove jack insert that I put in that window area and take out that. And then I'm thinking maybe about moving the batteries, because I've got my EcoFlow battery right here, which has been a great one over the years. And I did have Blue Eddie hit me up and ask me if I'd be interested to testing out a new battery at 6 kilowatts, and that's 3.7 kilowatts. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm actually gonna email them back this morning to see if they wanna see if they're still good too. So up to 100 inches of flag. Yeah, Diana, it's crazy. They all come in like these massive storms. There was one storm up there that I was camping in Sedona one night, and they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of snow. I woke up the next day, and in Sedona it was 2 feet, and it was 4.5 feet in Flagstaff. So I woke up, I'm like, why is my tarp like totally sandwiched, like wrapped around my truck? And what had happened was that the snow had collapsed everything around there. Let me check this temperature real quick on the hot tub. Turn this around here. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's gonna be pleasant because these storms keep stacking up. So I don't know if it's gonna rain again, but got that one, and then you can see that one stacking up behind it too. So I think it's just gonna be a day of inclement weather, which is cool with me. A little windy out here, so we're gonna go back inside. But I love days out here like this because it's kind of fun too. I get to watch the storms, the clouds track across the sky over there. Yeah, James, that's who I'm working with now. Is I'm working with a bunch of people in the office in Vegas. But there's the cell phone towers that I used to use back before I had Starlink, but the cell phone tower seems to always be down. And then over here, looking towards my garden area, there's the old slide-in extension, the legend itself. But you can see the storms keep coming today. But with the garden area, what I want to do is I want to have it to where this fence that goes around here, I want to have the same thing hooked into these trees here to wrap around this side. So when I start putting in all the garden beds right here that I've been clearing this area, and same with over there, it'll hook into that pine there, and then go around the back side of the little ATV shed over there. Somebody was asking about how I heat the hot tub, and it's just simply a 50-foot copper coil that I have that goes through book writing weather. Yeah, you know, I need to do that. I need to write a book. I just don't have a lot of patience to sit there and write it. So maybe I should do it on audio and then have, you know, like have the audio transcribed or something like that. So, but turning around here, let me show you what I use for heating the hot tub. Is just a simple coil method. You do need to use a water pump with this. It's complete BS, the channels that tell you that this works on physics. That's 100% not true. So don't believe that when you see them online. and they say, oh, you know, you just put like two armfuls of wood in there, and then your temperatures, your water is up to temp. That's garbage. That's not true. Okay, what you need is you need a little water pump to circulate the water around. So I've got a little 550 gallon per hour pump that goes right in here, and you see it right there, and then it circulates the water. That's 160 gallons right there, so it'll circulate it about 3 times through there. And the reason why I have it going from the top and then down to the bottom is just because you know the hot water rises, and so pulling in the water from up here and then having it go down there and then having it rises, it just warms it up quicker. If you have it down there and have it going to up here, the hot water going this way and coming out the top, then it just really gets the top part real warm, and you always have to go in there and stir the water. So what I also use too is I use Epsom salts with essential oils, and that works really well for sore muscles and for like achy joints, because like my hands get real sore from working all day with my hands. And so if you do that out here, I can tell you it will make your experience so much better, because you won't be hurting all the time. Because it's not fun to like work all day and then try to sleep at night when your body's just killing you, you know. The way you make this hot tub, and I'm actually going to do a video on this soon because we're getting into hot tub season, but the way you make it is you just drill pass-throughs, and all this does is create a little hole that you can go from this side onto the back side and then screw in. I used a 1/2 inch outer diameter shark bite connector. That's what this is called, a shark bite connector. And all you do is just take the copper coil and you push it in there, and then it pressure connects, and then you have a little tool that you use to undo this. I'd recommend that. Do not you know, solder them on, or whatever that's called. You don't want to do that, because you need to be able to dump your tub to clean it. Because if you think, even on the back here, let me show you, on the exhaust port that I have on this thing, you know, for getting it out, that's still what, like 1 inch above the bottom, you know? So that's like 1 inch above the bottom right there. And so you still have water in here. And so what you do is you get it down to this part, because like it'll definitely, you know, if you turn this, let me show you, the water will start coming out, but you still have that bottom part. And that's the bottom part that you need to get out the most, because all the debris and stuff will stay down there. And so you've got to make sure that you can dump it. So what I'll do is I'll take the shark bite little tool that I have, I'll disconnect both this one and then that one, and then you can dump it, you know, and then it's real easy. I mean, you can kind of see back here where I've dumped it. You can see on the ground, like kind of like that section right there. That's where the water always goes. And it just kind of runs down. And then I take a hose and I put it on the back there when I'm getting the water out. And then I'll use this, you know, my water tote. It's a little bit higher in elevation than down here, so gravity just feeds it, and then I just fill it back up. What I also do too is I'd recommend a pressure washer to clean your hot tub. It's much quicker, and it does a really good job as opposed to scrubbing it. So I've got this one here. It only uses 1.2 gallons a minute. It's 1900 psi. It's just simple, you know, simple power washer. Got a couple different connectors. You have one that's like a more for like a soapy connector here, or you have the high pressure connector here, and it's just a simple button. You push it down like this. See if I can do this with one hand, and then pull this out. I can't. Anyway, that's how it comes out. And then you use that to clean the interior of it, and you're all set. But the best thing to do when you have a hot tub like this is make sure you set it up with killer views, because sitting there hanging out at night, especially watching shooting stars, like they always seem to track in this area right here, and watching shooting stars at night and just hanging out in the, you know, in the hot tub is just incredible. So, all right, everybody, let's go back in and say what's up to Sierra, and then we're gonna end the live stream, so I want to get some lunch going. What's up, girl? Oh boy, girl, what do you got, sweetie? Yeah, you know, I actually use, I've got cow patties that I've used too before, so that was cool, the Solex, that you said your grandfather used bison patties. So what's up, girl? What are you doing? Let's try. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and tune out or log off and end the live stream, but thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll have a new video for you the first part of the week. It's going to be Sierra goes to REI, and they just treated her like gold there. There's a gal there named Sierra, and when Sierra comes in, she always has treats ready for her, so it's like Sierra and Sierra hanging out. But we're gonna do the video tomorrow, film it tomorrow, and then probably have it ready for you. What you got, girl? Probably have it ready for y'all on like Monday or Tuesday. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Sierra says hello, and y'all have a good afternoon, and we'll catch you on the next live stream.